Mr. President.
I recognize the senator from Delaware.
Thank you, Mr. President. And thank you also to Senator Durbin for creating this opportunity to speak up against this rescission package. When I ran for the Senate, I never thought that I would have to stand up to defend Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street, and Curious George. But here we are. And it's hard to believe that about 56 years ago, Fred Rogers himself actually came to the Senate to advocate for PBS funding. And in his closing, he shared a song that he wrote to help teach children how to deal with their feelings of anger. The lyrics asked, "What do you do with the mad that you feel?" I find his words really poignant at this moment of incredible strife in our country, because Mr. Rogers reminds us that we all have ownership over our actions. In his words, it's hard, it's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong. And respectfully to my colleagues across the aisle, this is wrong. And the American people need you to stop. Stop prioritizing big corporations over the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. The strange thing is, this is actually a corporation that the Trump administration is refusing to protect. And it's the one American families rely on for news, for education, and for public safety and weather alerts. This harmful package, which had bipartisan support, funding that was approved by Congress, would cut $1.1 billion from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which could force local TV and radio stations to close. It would gut funding for programming like PBS NewsHour, a trusted news and public affairs show. It would cut funding for PBS Kids, a trusted and safe source of children's programming. And speaking of trust, while only 33% of Congress is trusted, 66% of Americans trust PBS. And who will be most hurt by these cuts? Families in low-income and rural areas. Why? Because not everyone can stream Netflix or watch Miss Rachel on YouTube. In Delaware and across our country, there are thousands and thousands of families who still don't have access to the internet in their homes, which means PBS is the best, most stable source of information for those households. And this package could cut them off. These are programs with generational impact, from Sesame Street, which has been teaching young children, like my granddaughter, to count and spell since 1969. To The Gilded Age, a show I love that gives a dramatic glimpse into the history of our country. PBS to me is like a living library, granting access to art, food, culture, travel, and history across our nation and the world. But it's not just educational and it's not just cultural, it's life-saving. PBS covers 97% of American households, ensuring life-saving alerts reach communities when other systems fail. They support our country's emergency alert system, including earthquake early warnings, amber alerts, and warnings when severe weather is imminent. This is a vital service, and cutting funding for these programs would be devastating. My colleagues, as we embark on the 250th anniversary of our country, our goal should be expanding participation in this great American experiment through education, information, and knowledge. These form the foundation of an informed citizenry, and informed communities create a stronger democracy. As I close, in the words of Randy Farmer, the chairman of Delaware Public Media, my home state's NPR affiliate, he said, "Independent journalism is the lifeline we depend on for a free and informed democracy. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting provides access to independent, nonpartisan journalism. To me, it is the epitome of public service. So, To bring it back to where I started, Mr. Rogers, I urge my colleagues to stop what they have planned because it is wrong. I yield back.